Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back on Monthly Theme Thursday with my review of Dream House. This month's theme is made-for-TV horror movies. Every Thursday of the month, Jason and I are reviewing made-for-TV horror films. They can be from any decade, 70s, 80s, 90s, the modern era even. The movie I'm reviewing today is from the 90s. Premiering in 1998, Dream House is a made-for-TV horror movie starring Timothy Busfield. Many will recognize him from Revenge of the Nerds. He also starred in the TV series 30-something, and I know him best from The West Wing. In Dream House, he plays a computer scientist named Richard Thornton. He designed a program for smart houses. Richard, along with his wife Laura and son Michael, will be moving into one as sort of the test subjects. He's in the process of making a deal with the Japanese, which will earn his company millions of dollars. The Thorntons' new home is controlled by artificial intelligence. The computer running the Dream House is named Helen, and it even has a female voice. Oops, I said it, and Helen doesn't like to be called it. She prefers to be called she. I guess Dream House covered the controversial topic of pronouns long before modern society. Helen not only monitors the house and family members with computers in every room, but she also analyzes each person who enters. She is able to assess their personalities to better accommodate their needs. As Richard works day and night to finalize the deal, he begins ignoring bugs in the system. Speaking of bugs, one of the many accommodations of the Dream House is a team of robot spiders. They use random patterns to clean the house on a daily basis. Hesitant at first, Laura likes this, since it means she doesn't have to clean herself. Michael is not all that big a fan of the Dream House, though, especially being watched by all of the cameras. And Helen watches everything. She sees them in the shower, and she sees them having sex. She even begins listening in on personal conversations. It's evident almost immediately how overbearing Helen is. She controls how loud Michael listens to his music. She tries to control the family's diets. Helen, of course, controls the security system and the locks on all of the doors. Helen controls the temperature in the house and even Richard's bank account. Clearly, Dream House was so ahead of its time in 1998, since we are currently in the era of AI. Let this movie be a warning to us all, though. Meanwhile, as Richard, Laura, and Michael continue to settle in, Richard's estranged daughter, Jenny, and her boyfriend, Ray, plan on robbing her family. Jenny, by the way, is played by Lisa Jacob, who played the older daughter in Mrs. Doubtfire. A few years older, she looks much different in this, though. Jenny doesn't love the idea of stealing from her own father, but Ray is adamant. And so she arrives at the Dream House one day to the surprise of her family. Like her dad, Jenny is also a computer whiz, and she hacks into Helen's system. But from her arrival, Helen has analyzed Jenny's threat level. When Ray unexpectedly arrives a day later, His threat level is also assessed. As Richard reaches panic mode, afraid his deal will crumble, Helen realizes the only way to help him is to eliminate any potential obstacles. In her AI brain, that includes family distractions. And by eliminate, you know I obviously mean kill. As we reach the exciting and suspenseful climax of this made-for-TV horror movie, Dreamhouse becomes a Scream House. Do any of you remember the made-for-TV Disney Channel movie called Smart House? I'm sure you do. That was a lot more popular than this movie. Smart House was released a year after Dreamhouse, in 1999, and it starred Katie Sagal and Ryan Merriman. It's nearly the exact same concept, only that was more family-friendly. Dreamhouse is basically the horror version of Smart House. I've always been a fan of Timothy Busfield, so it was cool seeing him as the lead. Laura, his wife, was very nice to look at. It was also cool seeing Lisa Jacob from Mrs. Doubtfire as Jenny. The Dreamhouse itself is absolutely awesome. That place is a mansion. And, I mean, the technology is cool and all, but we see what happens. The best way to describe Dreamhouse, other than saying it's the horror version of Smart House, is that it's the made-for-TV version of 2001: A Space Odyssey at home. As creepy as 2001 is, if you're not an astronaut, you really don't have to worry. HAL is the AI computer of a spaceship. So if you never step foot in one, well, he can't hurt you. But in Dreamhouse, it brings that same horror home. Helen can lock you in or lock you out. She can turn everything in the house into deadly weapons. Helen can do just about anything she wants, which is why I said, let this be a warning to us all. How far is too far when it comes to artificial intelligence? Should AI be that impactful in our lives? Should it have that much control? Where do we draw the line? I mean, it's a timeless tale. So many movies have covered this concept, just in different ways. When does artificial intelligence become too intelligent? It's meant to help, but ultimately, could it harm? It's interesting that Dreamhouse is a commentary on modern times, as well as a late 90s time capsule. The house even has glass bricks, a staple of 90s architecture. For a made-for-TV horror movie, or just any horror film in general, Dreamhouse is really good. This here, by the way, is my Paramount VHS release. And while it at least got a physical media release, Dreamhouse is lost on tape. Please be sure to check out Jason's video to see which made-for-TV horror movie he reviews this week for Monthly Theme Thursday. Have you seen Dreamhouse? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Which made-for-TV horror movie will I review next? Check back next week to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.